everyone. In this week's episode, we go on a villager hunt for my next three neighbors, my lazy, peppy, and normal. Also, we run into an old friend and a couple of new friends. Now, let's start the villager hunt and find some friends for Elowen. Hopefully, they're all nice. When I found my first lazy neighbor, I was really surprised because I had him on an old island back in 2021, and I lost the island due to corrupted data, and it made me really sad that I lost this neighbor when I had him before on an older island. I'm really happy that I finally got him back as a neighbor again. Stu was born in New York City. He always wanted to be a musician. His mom supported him. His mom told him he used to sing before he could talk. His mom gave him a notebook. He started to write songs in it. He started a band in high school. He was inspired by blues music that his dad played in Manhattan. He got some friends together and formed a band. Stu grew up in Queens, New York. He wrote a song about how he feels about his partner, who was the bass player in the band. They went to Stu's partner's parents' house because they had a garage. And also her parents let them use the garage to practice music. They got the song worked out, but it was missing something, and no one could figure out what it was missing. Stu's partner's father came into the garage. He is a man of few words. He stood there for a second to listen to the song. Stu asked his opinion on what is missing in the song. Stu's partner's father said, "You're looking for a blues rock style?" Stu said yes. He said, "Add some Chicago to it." Stu asked him, "What do you mean?" His partner's father said, "Chicago blues added trumpets and a saxophone." He said that would give it a gritty feel to it. They tried it, and that was what the song was missing. They signed up for the school talent show, which surprised everyone because Stu was quiet in school. He hardly ever talked unless somebody said something to him. It was their turn to go on stage, and the principal introduced them and the song they were going to sing. The music started, and Stu walked out to the microphone wearing shades and a biker jacket and black jeans. The principal got halfway across the stage when Stu started to sing. He stopped in his tracks, turned around to look, and his mouth was open in shock. The audience was quiet all night, but by the time they got to the first chorus, couples were dancing in the space between the front row and the stage. After the song, they got a standing ovation and they were yelling for them to do another song. Same thing happened. They got 3 encores. Let's just say that at the end of the night, they were voted as winners of the talent show. They went on to play music at nightclubs in New York City, and they decided to go to the West Coast after Stu's friend became an actress, and she played one of the songs for the producer of the movie, and the producer wanted Stu's band to play on the soundtrack and be in the movie. He also wanted them to write a new song for the movie as well. The movie is about an alternative timeline of the 60s. The first song was in the opening credits of the movie, and the second song that they wrote was in the movie, and they played the whole song, but they were in a nightclub in this alternative reality of 1960s LA. Stu's band recorded 6 more albums before retiring. He heard about the Nook's Deserted Island Getaway package. Stu wanted to find friends, so he decided to sign up so he can find new friends that he can treat like family. He got to Elwyn and he was greeted by Biff. Biff offered to help bring his items to his new house. Biff told Stu, "Welcome home." My next neighbor I've never had as a neighbor before. She looks really nice, and I've never seen anyone talk about her before on anybody else's videos or live streams. So I thought to give her a chance on my new island. Pom Pom was born in Manhattan, but she had dreams of Southern California. Pom Pom feels like California is her home. She's been best friends with Stu all of her life. They live next door to each other in Queens. She always loved acting. Every year the school had a school play, so for 4 years she signed up for each play. Stu always supported her. He went to every single play she was in. She found out that Stu and his band are going to be in the school talent show. She had to be there to support him. She was the loudest person in the audience. She went to college to learn acting. She went to Southern California to chase her dreams to be an actress. She did voiceover work for years. Then she got casted in a movie that's a sci-fi movie. Pom Pom is the star of the film. The plot of the movie is her and a friend of hers find an old cave. They go into the cave. Pom Pom and her friend in, enter the cave and get to the middle and find a big empty room. Then all of a sudden there's a white light that is blinding. Then total darkness. Pom Pom and her friend leave the cave, but it's not LA that they remember. It is a alternative reality. They are in 1969 LA, but it's different. They start to walk around and they're noticing the trademark neon lights of the 1980s. They both go into a nightclub looking for answers and notice everyone is dressed like a 1940s film noir. Then they realize that they had stepped into a alternative reality and they have to figure out how to get home. She agreed to do the movie. She always loved sci-fi. She was playing a CD that Stu sent her in her trailer. The producer walked past and heard the song she was playing. She had the door open because it was a beautiful day at 75 degrees outside and sunny. He heard the song and he asked, "Who is that?" Pom Pom said, "It's my bestie from back in Queens. That song would be perfect for the movie," he said. He asked her who wrote the song. She said, "My friend did. The producer is cool." He asked her to get him on the phone. She put him on speakerphone and told him that the producer would like to use the song in the movie and he wanted to talk to you about it. Also, he said there's a nightclub scene and he would love to have Stu and his band be in the film. And of course, he can play the song in the scene. And the whole song will be played in that scene. They flew the band out to the studio to film the scene. They did the scene in one take. Pom Pom was in the scene, so she had to keep her proudness and excitement inside until the director said cut while they were filming. After the director said cut, she ran to Stu and hugged him and congratulated him. The director said, "We'd like to have them back for a second nightclub scene, but he'd like another song." He said both songs will be in the film and they will be in their entirety. He wrote a song for the movie. Stu stayed with Pom Pom while the movie was filming for 6 months. The rest of the band lived next door. The studio rented the house next door for the band. They wrote the song and recorded it in a recording studio in downtown LA. They filmed the music video in a vintage arcade in LA. He talked to both the producer and director if the main cast could be in the video. He said sure. Pom Pom said she knows a place that they could film it. There is a retro arcade that is 12-minute drive from the studio. Pom Pom directed the video. The video was the actors playing video games. She also asked one of her heroes that she used to watch growing up on a TV series, who was also in the film, if he would be in the video also. Pom Pom had him as the attendant who takes the money for you to get into the arcade. She thought it would be funny to do a little Easter egg of having him watching an old TV with his show on the TV, but the TV was having problems. and it wouldn't work properly. And until almost to the end of the video, he smacks the TV and it starts to work. But at the end of the video, the TV stops working. Pom Pom shows the producer what they filmed and he loved it. The movie was a massive hit. Pom Pom retired from acting and signed up for the Nook's Deserted Island Getaway package after Stu did because she missed her bestie and she was shocked seeing him again when she stepped off the plane on Eloin. Biff and Stu helped bring her items to her new house. My next neighbor I've never had as a neighbor before. She looks really nice, and I've never seen anyone talk about her before on anybody else's videos or live streams. So I thought to give her a chance on my new island. Alice was born in London, but her parents and her moved to Fulton, New York. Her parents paid for her to learn piano. Her first day of school at lunch, she didn't know anyone, so she was going to sit by herself until the table behind her, one of the people kicked the chair out that was empty so she could sit down and said, "Here, have a seat. No one sits alone." She made 4 friends that day. They were talking about a gig they had to perform at. Alice said that you are musicians. They said that we have a band. She said she's a classically trained piano player. They said very cool. The founding member said she's sick of the keyboard player because he would always show up to gigs really late or sometimes not at all, and he wouldn't have a good excuse. She already said that he has 2 strikes and one more he's fired. That Saturday, Alice was sitting down relaxing at home playing her video games and she got a phone call from her bestie, the lead vocalist. He said that we have a problem. The founding member is about to fire the keyboard player because he hasn't showed up yet. And we're an hour before we can get to start performing. And we have no keyboard player. Do you have any plans, and could you get there if you don't have any plans before we have to go on stage? She said I can get there in time. She said that she got a keyboard, so does she need that? And they said, no, we have one already. She said, I'll be there in 15 minutes. But the bar and grill is actually 30 minutes away. She got there in 15. She has an ear for music. She can listen to a song and then play it on the keyboard. On her way there, she listened to the set list. The owner of the bar and grill, named Oscar, who is best friends with the lead vocalist's mom, he asked it if they needed more time. They said we could use 30 more minutes. She learned all the songs before they were going to start. She played the first hour, and then Oscar has a rule that everybody plays the first part of their set, and then they go on a break for an hour, and then they finish the rest of the concert. And of course, everybody who's a musician who's playing on stage, they don't have to pay for food or drink. The other keyboard players showed up while they were on break, and he said that he didn't want to miss the baseball game, so he decided to not bother to show up until after the game was finished. The founding member said, that's strike 3, you're fired. He left the bar and grill, and the founding member said to Alice, you helped us out when we were in a jam. I say if Alice wants to join the band, she has my vote. The whole band voted for her to join the band. Alice said that she'd love to join the band because she loves music and would also love to play keyboards. She called her mom when they were still on break and told her what happened and that she was offered a part in the band, and her mom was happy for her. Her dad asked what happened. Alice's mom told Alice's dad, and he said that he's very happy for her and he's very proud of her too. The band split up after they graduated high school. She got accepted into college in LA. Alice's best friend, his mom has a friend in Topanga who owns some land and there's houses on it. And she always treated Alice like she was family. So she called her friend and told her about Alice and if she could stay in one of the houses because she didn't feel comfortable living on campus. Her friend said, sure. She stayed there for while they were going to college, and she could also stay there as long as she wanted, even after she graduated college. Alice went to learn to be a pro wrestler. She found a school in LA County. She went to the school to sign up for wrestling training. The school has a promotion attached to it, so every student has to work for the promotion for 1 year, and then they can sign with whoever they want after the year. They asked her what's her idea for her character. She said that she wants to be like a werewolf character. She told the owner of the school about an old 1965 horror movie that she saw that her best friend's mom had parts of it because it was on an old videotape that she got from a place where they can order old movies. The movie is about a woman who has a hereditary werewolf curse. She said that I wanted to base my character on her, and I wanted to name my character La Loba. She has a friend from college whose uncle owns a shop in Mexico City that makes lucha libre masks and wrestling gear. She got home and she called her friend and told her what she was going to do. And her friend said, mention my name to my uncle and he'll give you a really good price for the mask and the wrestling boots and the wrestling gear. She called the shop and she told the owner that she went to college with his niece, and she said what her name was, and he said that I can make you the mask that you want, I can make you the gear, and I can get the boots for you. He gave her a 90% discount on the mask, 90% discount on the wrestling gear, and 90% discount on the wrestling boots. She told him what her character was going to be, and she asked if he could make the mask for her. And he said that, so you want a werewolf style mask? And she said yes. And he said, got it. She did some research on lucha libre. She watched some old lucha libre matches because in next class they were going to learn how to do topes and spaceman planchas. The tope is a headfirst dive between the top and middle ropes, but the other wrestler catches the wrestler who's doing the tope so they won't get hurt. The spaceman plancha is where you jump off the top rope to the opposing wrestler on the floor. While you're in the air, you look like an astronaut in space. She did the tope and she looked like an arrow. The teacher was stunned. She said, I've been doing research, watched some old wrestling matches. She graduated and she visited her friend at a biggest indie promotion a year after in Los Angeles. The other wrestler had a family emergency and couldn't make the show. Alice's friend told the promoter Alice is a wrestler. The promoter asked Alice if she would wrestle. She said she has her gear and she needs to get dressed. And the promoter asked if she had music, and she said yes, she does. She told the promoter that she wanted to walk out to her mom's favorite song. Today would have been her mom's birthday. Her opponent heard that and said, I wanted to drop the title to her in a back and forth match. They wanted a match to go 30 minutes. The promoter said, I don't know about dropping the title. Alice's friend said that she's really good, and he said, fine. If you want to, go ahead. The promoter said, milk the entrance to get to the ring in 3 minutes. Before the main event was supposed to start, the champion went out to the ring and said that the original challenger couldn't make the show tonight. So I am issuing an open challenge to anybody who is in the back who is a trained professional wrestler to challenge for my women's championship. The champion was a heel, which is the bad guy in professional wrestling. Alice's music hit, and she waited 45 seconds to walk on the stage. She pointed up and said, this is for you, Mom. She started to walk to the ring. By the second chorus, she stopped for a second when she heard the fans start singing along with her theme song, which made her cry. Also, soon as the commentator heard the fans singing, he stopped talking. He saw what Alice said, that this is for you, Mom, and he heard the fans singing, and he figured that they were paying tribute to Alice's mom. The champion, who was a heel or villain, she also had a tear in her eye. She had the match. She thought she was going to lose, but the champion said, hit the finisher and pin. You're going over, kid, which means she's going to be winning. She hit her finisher, a springboard DDT, and pinned the champion. Alice whispered thank you during the pin. She got signed to the promotion that night. She was going to hand the title back to the promoter, and he said, what are you doing, champ? He hands her a contract. That match was match of the night. I'm offering you a 3-year contract with us. She read the contract and she signed with the company. She worked for them for 10 years until she retired. She wanted to find a place where she can find friends. She heard of the Nooks Desert Island Getaway Package and decided to sign up for the program. She's happy that she found some friends on Elowin. Next week, we find out who my first campsite visitor is. I hope it's somebody really good this time. Thank you for joining me this week. I will see you next week. Thank you for watching my video. If you liked the video, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications.